City of Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown. Executive Director of Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority Gillian Brown. And now, please stand and join me in welcoming the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Gillian Brown, Executive Director of the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority. We are so happy that all of you could join us today to be part of this milestone event. This project has been a long time coming, and there are many people to thank for their involvement, help, funding, cooperation, and patience. First, I need to thank the residents of the Perry community, past and present, for coming together and attending our meetings, for participating and making their preferences, thoughts, and wishes known, and most of all, for their patience during the long years when we tried to address the seemingly intractable issues here. Our partners at HUD, both at the local and national level, have been generous with their funding, their time, and their patience, and have worked with us every step of the way. We also owe our gratitude to Mayor Brown and his Office of Strategic Planning for their confidence, their assistance with every step of this project, starting with the selection process, and their willingness to assist us in so many ways. I need to thank the members of my BMHA Board of Commissioners who have waited a long time for a groundbreaking, any groundbreaking, and have put their trust in me and my team to make this project a success. In 2018, when we began preparing the request for qualifications, which ultimately brought Penrose, BMHA, and Bridges Development together, we never that this would proceed as smoothly and collaboratively as it has. None of this could have happened without our partners at Penrose and Bridges working toward this common goal, and I am so proud that we are here. Governor Hochul and Ruth Ann Wisniewski, her Commissioner of Homes and Community Renewal, have exceeded all of our expectations in terms not just of funding, but also in terms of guidance and patience. And we know that the project they have contributed so much to will make them proud when it is completed. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce the Governor of the great state of New York, Kathy Hochul.
A little bright out here. I'm not complaining about sun in Buffalo. Just want to set the record straight for that. But what an incredible day. I have been waiting for this literally my entire life. This is the neighborhood where I ride my bicycle. This is the neighborhood that I grew up near. My family from South Buffalo, the First Ward, these are my neighbors. And they have waited a long time for this day. So on behalf of all of us, let's give a round of applause to the most patient people in America, the residents of the Perry community. Please stand up. Residents, stand up. Take a bow. I will tell you this. All right. And all the ones who left, we want them to come back. This is your home. This is your home. That's what this is about. You know, in this year's budget, we reached an historic agreement on housing. Now, I never dreamed that the issue of housing could be so controversial, but it was. And we leaned into it because failure was not an option. So many people needed the dignity of a roof over their heads, a good, safe home. And our state didn't have the ambition to build the way they have in other states. We fell very far behind. From Buffalo to Brooklyn, we fell behind. So we had to have a new agreement, driving new construction, protecting tenants. No one has seen anything of this scale in over 50 years. But I said in my first meeting with Ruth Ann Wisniewski, our superstar, I said 2 projects, right? Perry Street and Marine Drive. That was 2 years ago. Here we are 2 years later, and both are happening. So it is happening. And we've also made other investments, a $500 million investment to build on state land, $600 million in capital funding for housing. And that's not all. We are continuing to support so many projects here in Buffalo. So we're not done. We're just getting warmed up. As we like to say coming next fall, this is just the kickoff, okay? We don't even have any downs yet. This is the very beginning of the game that we're committed to. So that's what I want to do. We have supported in this area over $114 million in Western New York alone, $57 million from McCarley Gardens, our Marine Drive, and here as well. And today we're going to break ground on another extraordinary project. And I want to talk about the people who helped make this happen. First of all, the residents who never gave up, the community leaders, the people who care so deeply about this, people who live here, the people who invest here, business developers, the people like the Zemskys who believed in this part of our city and never gave up and said, we're going to be there. We're going to be there. Also, our great mayor, I'll be introducing him in a couple of minutes, but I want to thank him for always, every time he came to Albany, he would say words like Marine Drive, Perry Street, Marine Drive, Perry Street. Okay, I listened. You were right. We got it done. We're getting it done. Someone I've known a long time, our HUD Regional Director, Administrator, Alika Ampry-Samuel. Let's give her a round of applause for coming here today. We also want to thank Crystal Peoples-Stokes for all her support of this project. I don't know if she could make it here today, but I want to thank Crystal. As I mentioned, Ruth Ann Visnoskitz, our county executive, is also here. Mark Polenkars, thank you for all the support from the county. All of our partners in county and local government here today. But this is how it starts. It starts with a day like today, when we finally say, the past is over, and what we're doing here is going from a symbol of decline and decay to a symbol of rebirth and resurgence. That's what this day means to so many people. That if you finally stay with it, that you're committed to it, you believe in the cause, you just power through all the obstacles. Now, this is not just buildings. It's building a community. And you know, as I mentioned, I have come here so many times. Even when I was younger, my mother was a social worker. She had clients in these buildings. I still have the image in my head of Mom, very pregnant with one of my younger siblings, because that was a permanent state for much of my childhood. Mom going into buildings where the elevators didn't work, lugging her daughter some food and some clothing, going up the stairs to sit in rooms and hold people's hands and talk to them and let them know they mattered. They weren't faceless individuals who lived in an area of our city that was ignored, that they actually had value to us. And that's something that's still in my heart today. These residents matter. They have value to our community and never, ever should have been overlooked for as long as they have been. So all those people who said, this is the day we're going to change that, this is why this day is so extraordinary. Now, I will also say, when this was first built, back in 1938, even at that time, people said it looked like a prison. I always think back, what were they thinking? You had the opportunity to build something beautiful, something inspiring, something welcoming. But that's how long individuals have endured and lived and still prospered and thrived, doing the best they can. But it should never have looked like a prison. Today we unlock the doors, throw open the gates, and say we can allow beauty to come in. Architecture matters, design matters. It can be lifting. It can lift up the spirit. That's how we make up for the wrongs of the past. And we saw when this building was built, it wasn't just this community who saw it decline. I mean, look, People coming to Buffalo for the first time along the 190 look over to the left. What is their first impression of Buffalo? People leaving, their last impression of Buffalo. It was not positive. It didn't say that every part of this community mattered, but going forward, it will. It'll send a whole new message about this community and how it believes in itself. That's why I'm so excited about this. A monument to blight should not be with people's images of our city. It's not fair to the hardworking people who lived here. No, it was a sign. I don't know where it went, but this was the symbol. This was the symbol of Perry Street. This is what people saw. This is going to be tossed in the trash heap once and for all. And we're going to do something spectacular. We're going to have signage. We're going to have buildings. We're going to have life. We're going to have retail. We're going to build thousands of feet of retail to say you can have it all together. It's mixed use. It's apartments. It's townhouses. It's like it grew up organically. And that's what's going to be part of this legacy. So, what I want to say is this. We will continue making these investments. We'll continue investing necessary money. I will tell you, this is about, let's see, $225 million of state investment. I think it makes sense. I think that's money well spent. $25 million to start, 27 buildings, 405 units, mixed use. We're going to have affordable at 60% or below the median income because wages are not always that high. People working minimum wages can afford a home now, and make sure that we do whatever is necessary. So thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing history as we close those prison doors on the past and open up a new place that lifts up spirits, gives them freedom. This community can find out that there are no limits to what it can do. And investors will be paying attention to this. Others will say, this is a place that matters. This is a place that has value. This is a place that the state and the local government and the federal government, the county government, the city, all came together to say, this is a new day. And you are here to witness this. Thank you very much. With that, let me call up Mayor Byron Brown, who also has spent many, many decades seeing this, questioning this, saying why, and saying now, why not? Why not make this a place that is livable, inviting, welcoming? And Mayor, we finally reached that day. Thank you very much for the support of all of you, BMHJ, Gillian, and everyone else who really put their heart and soul into changing the lives of Western New Yorkers, Buffalonians, starting today. Thank you.
It is great to be here at the Perry Housing Development with Governor Kathy Hochul on this bright, beautiful, new day for the Perry development in this part of the city of Buffalo. One of the questions as mayor that I get asked all the time is, what is your biggest challenge in managing the city? What is your biggest challenge in running the city? Well, the biggest challenge is not having enough money to do all of the things that need to be done to be able to do great projects like this one. And Governor Hochul is right. Every time I saw the governor, I was whispering, Perry, Marine Drive, and many other things. And I am thankful that we have a governor in the state of New York that always listens. And it was important to her to bring transformation to the people that live in this area of our city. recognizing that transformation here would lead to transformation throughout the entire city of Buffalo. I want to also recognize DHCR Housing and Community Renewal and great Commissioner Ruth Ann Visnaskis, who is with us. They always listen to, working together with HCR. During my tenure as mayor, we have built out more than 5,400 units of affordable housing. But on this one, Commissioner Visnaskis, we went right to Governor Hochul. And the governor said, it's going to happen. We're going to do it. We're going to put the money up. We're going to turn this area around. It will be a place of beauty for the folks that live here. It will be a place of beauty and improve the quality of life for every resident in this immediate area of our city. So, Governor, I can't say enough thanks to you for personally being involved in this, for personally helping to make this project a reality. Governor talked about the state money that is going to go into development. 2 phases. First phase will be over 400 units of housing. Second phase, over 600 units of housing. All expected to be done in a 6-year period of time. So there is going to be a lot of construction going on right here. I also want to thank Gillian Brown, the Executive Director of the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority. I want to thank Brendan Mahaffey, the city's Economic Development Commissioner, Yvonne McCrae, the city's Housing Director, for working together since before 2018 to plan these transformative developments at BMHA. I want to thank the members of the City Council for their tremendous support. Council President Christopher Scanlon is here. Let's give him a round of applause. Majority Leader of the Common Council, Leah Halton Pope, is here. The Fillmore District Council member, Mitch Nowakowski, is here. Let's give him a round of applause. And I also want to recognize the Chair of the Erie County Legislature, April Baskin, and Howard Johnson, another member of the Erie County Legislature, who are here with our great county executive, Mark Polenkars. You know, it takes, as my predecessor, Mayor Anthony Masiello, said, it takes teamwork to make a dream work. And the governor mentioned the support from the federal government, the state government, the city government, working with the county government to bring us to this great day. I want to just wrap up by mentioning this project, along with Marine Drive, along with Schaefer Village, 3 projects that will help to transform our city. And in 8 years' time, more than $1 billion of investment in housing in the city of Buffalo, transforming not only parts of the city, but transforming the entire city. So Governor Hochul, this is a great day. This is a great day of giving thanks to all of the partners that have been involved in this. I want to again recognize Penrose. They are a great developer, and when they bid on the project, we were very excited that they were the successful bidder. There's also significant federal dollars in everything that we are doing. The federal government has been in this for a very, very long period of time. And we have a real asset in the federal government in Alika Ampry Samuel, who is the regional administrator for New York, New Jersey in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We thank her for all of her time, her energy, her focus, and her support on what we're doing in Buffalo for housing. Please join me in welcoming Alika Ampre Samuel. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, everyone. Today feels good, and it's a certain energy that you feel when change is really happening. This is a day that we have all been looking forward to for so many years, and this groundbreaking ceremony marks the beginning of a new era. But not only for Commodore Perry Housing Development, but this is about the people who have lived in these buildings, the people who have made this community their home. Today is about that. This is a transformation for First Ward, and it has been a long time coming. So on behalf of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, I am delighted to share space with our governor, Kathy Hochul, who has never shied away from a challenge, ever. And I just have to say that leadership matters, and I say that all the time. And you can figure out someone's values and what they care about by where they allocate funding. And so I am thankful, Governor, for your leadership. And we know that this work is not done in a vacuum. It takes great leaders to visualize real transformation, to have a vision, and to put it into a plan. And so I'm also glad to be here with Mayor Byron Brown for your leadership and all that you do. And the team at the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority, Executive Director Gillian Brown, you and your staff have been the driving force in so many ways. And I know how hard you work, our PIH team. I know. And so I also want to recognize the PIH team from HUD who's in here. Can you just wave your hand, all of the HUD representatives? To get these deals done, it takes and it makes a whole lot of paperwork, a whole lot of advocacy, but it takes working across all forms of government, city, state, and our federal partners. And so thanks to Penrose for stepping in to figure out how to make this deal works. And the Commodore Perry community, and I know I'm going to introduce our president in a minute, but the Commodore Perry community has gone through so much. This community was shuttered down for 10 years, and that's a decade of what could have been much needed affordable housing for hundreds of families. But today is about making it right, and again, doing right by the people. And something else that I want to point out, this is preserved for affordable housing. And that option was never taken off the table. And I've unfortunately seen community members forced out of their homes over the years across the country. And people would leave and be displaced with all kinds of promises about transition and transformation. And then when they look at the development, it's luxury housing for the wealthy. But not here, not today, and not ever, ever. And so the Commodore Perry redevelopment and all of its partners, from government to investors to leaders in the affordable housing space, advocates and residents leading the vision, this will be a success story, a model. And understanding that every deal is different, the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority chose a great HUD program to redevelop this site, which brings private investment to make the project possible, to make it work. And HUD also provided $6 million in capital funds, $1.1 million in community development block grant funding, over $5 million in rehab assistance payments, and $16 million in housing trust fund resources through the state. And HUD will remain an active partner long after the construction is complete. HUD will provide monthly rental assistance to 284 families, 284 units, affording those families financial stability and a peace of mind, knowing that their rent will be paid and that they can pay their rent to support their families. And one last thing that I would like to lift up. The Housing Authority is ensuring that many jobs result from this redevelopment site. And I have to just mention that. Sites are going to area residents through our HUD Section 3 program. When development is happening, we usually see change take place to residents and not with the residents. And so I am so thankful to Renaissance Groups for hosting and housing job fairs to hire local residents. So thank you for that piece. And on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration and Acting Secretary Todman, congratulations to everyone who made this day a reality. And I look forward to returning when it's completed and filled with joy, excitement, and smiling residents. And so now I have the honor of welcoming our next speaker, who's a big smiling member of this community, the president of the area, Felicia Bell. Please come to the stage. And thank you for all that you do as a leader in this community.
I would like to say thank you, Ampre Samuel. For many years, we sat and we watched the Perry decline over the years. I am the voice today for the Commodore Perry residents. I don't have a big title to my name, but I'm a little fish in a big pond today. And I'm just so thankful for this day. This is an exciting day. A lot of the residents are still in disbelief that this is happening. It's a little difference when you are resident and people judge you by where you live. People used to ask me, where do you live? I said, Commodore Perry. Oh God, why do you live in that place? I said, well, Perry's is going to change. They're gonna tear down the old Perrys and build new Perrys. You know, there's like, oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. So I wished I could have brought the residents down here today so they could see this wonderful, exciting day. And I would just like to say thank you so much to the governor. I got teared up sitting there because Governor Hochul, she really touched home of the things that she was saying. Like, now you see a pile of dirt over there, but I knew those people. My sister lived in this parish for 17 years. My niece, she went to school for here on South Park, and I've been a resident here for 15 years, approximately 15 years. And I'm just thankful that finally the day is coming where we can be proud to say that we are Perry Projects residents and we are proud. And I want to say thank you, Governor Hochul, and I also want to say thank you to Mayor Byron Brown and to the BMHA, Jillian Brown, Bridges Development, Penrose Development for making this a dramatic, exciting day for us in the Perry Projects. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Years ago, when the high-rises used to be all seniors, I went to 78 Restoration, and I became a certified nurse's assistant, and I took care of a lot of those seniors in the high-rises. And it was very challenging back then in those days because a lot of times the seniors didn't want the young people, you know, on their turf, and now they mixed it up, so you know, it can be very challenging. I'm telling you right now, it really can. You know, especially when you have somebody next door to you want to vibrate your wall with the boom box and all of that, you know, but I am just honored and just so thankful just to see this day coming. And I want to say something about Penrose Development, Penrose. They didn't just come to us and tell us, oh, we're going to throw up a bunch of buildings and you guys take it or leave it. They didn't do that. They actually invited the tenants over there and they gave us choices. Do you like this? Do you like this? What do you guys want in this neighborhood? What do you guys need in this neighborhood? We were so thankful for that. we were so thankful. Like, we just didn't get thrown away, just like, oh, we're just gonna throw you down there and take it or leave it. It wasn't like that. And I just want to say thank you again. Thank you very, very much. And I witnessed, like I said, over the years, the Perry's decline. And there were some good souls down here back in those days. Most of those people have passed on. They have went on with the Lord. And I am a God-fearing woman. I want you all to know that. I believe none of this is possible without God. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that thanks goes out to. And I'm not a very long talker, so I'm about to introduce Dylan Salmons, the Regional Vice President of Penrose Development. Thank you.
Whew. There's a couple really great moments that an affordable housing developer, a real estate professional gets to enjoy. There's the call I get from Adam Kinkle when he starts cutting the first key, and then there's when we come back here and we cut a ribbon. Being around the folks here today, hearing the stories about how we talk about internally, how we execute, and what we think about and what we prioritize, and hearing it from the experience of Felicia, man, it really brings it all home. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this momentous day as we break ground on a project that will bring hope, stability, and opportunity to many families in this neighborhood of Buffalo. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter, the one that promises to reshape community and uplift those who need it most. Affordable housing is more than just a roof over one's head. I don't think I got to tell this group that. We're sitting out here with the sun over our heads. But it's the foundation on which New Yorkers can build their futures. It's the promise of security and assurance and a safe environment that provides a gateway to boundless opportunities for all who live here. Today, we're taking a significant step forward and fulfilling the promises for many of these deserving communities, some that have been deserving longer than others. As we gather here today in Buffalo's historic First Ward neighborhood, we are reminded of the rich history, the resilient spirit that the ward has brought to the city of Buffalo. Known from its earliest days as a bustling hub for immigrants seeking new opportunities, and today, in its enduring sense of freedom and certainty, enduring. And in particular, I want to acknowledge the residents of Perry Homes whose support and involvement up until today and will be continued through this phase and phase two have been instrumental. Your commitment has truly informed the vision for this community. And I hope that when you see these boards and these renderings and the creation of the design center, you walk in there every day and say, oh, there's my contribution. Yep, I see it. Hey, it's a picture of my nephew on the board. That is who we are. That is what we want to see here. Projects of this magnitude are only able to be the result of hard work and dedication, the collaboration of many individuals. Individuals make housing and organizations. From our government officials who happily share the podium with today, who are amazing spirits and of ingenuity that embody our communities. We thank you. So the residents, for those who are here, what you see here today in renderings will soon become reality. These are the work of architects, engineers, and planners. Most of them were led by Wallace, Robert, and Todd, WRT, out of Philadelphia, a partner stakeholder for Penrose for decades. Big shout out to Joe Healy, Vera Kiselev, Aaron Callahan, and Woody Bergman. Thank you guys for your countless hours to get us here. It's a little known fact, but WRT knows it and Penrose knows it. We started the release of our teams 13 and a half months before we closed on financing of 500,000 square feet. We've been doing this for decades. Penrose and my partners have been at it for 50 years. Joe's team's been at it for decades. That set a whole new bar in the Penrose WRT gym, one that we really look forward to our younger partners taking up the mantle on. Thank you for giving us that inspiration. We've arrived. Delivering the homes is now the responsibility of Haynes Construction and their leadership for the myriad of construction workers, many of whom will be local to this region and this city, to bring these illustrations to life. I'd like to thank Haynes and their team who've worked with us through hardships, trials, tribulations, and some really great housing in this state. Haynes, get us there on time. More importantly, get us there safely and without incident. Safety and housing, these are concerns we all have a stake in. The housing shortage is real. It's a pressing issue in our state. Our governor spoke about how long it took to get the budget through, focusing on housing and how important that was. In Buffalo alone, the demand is staggering. Thousands of families on wait lists, vacancies below 2% more often than not, and the list of affordable homes goes on and on with more solutions needed. The shortage not only affects the well-being of individual families, but also the economic health, and the social fabric of our community. This will be 100% affordable. This first phase, as it should have been, as we talked about from the beginning, will be 100% affordable, with amenities designed to foster a sense of belonging, communal spaces, green areas, and buildings that are way more than housing. We want to rebuild a community where children can play safely, where neighbors can connect, and where families can build lasting memories. That is what the future of this community is about. The community has also been served in unfailing dedication, often overlooked, by the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority. PHAs play a tremendous part in the revitalization of our communities, and they're the stewards of our most scarce resource, which is public housing. I want to extend a very special thank you to our partners, the people who we had long late night conversations with at the BMHA, specifically Gillian Brown, Modesto Candelario, and Nadine Marrero. You guys are phenomenal rock stars. PHAs like BMHA play a crucial role in the revitalization of these communities, more often than not through the RAD program, the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program pioneered in the Obama administration. So in partnership between the BMHA and the folks at Penrose, Opportunity Knocks leveraging the RAD program. It is utilized as a foundational element to repositioning any of these projects. Anyone else who tells you differently hasn't spent time with RAD. They provide much needed financing to underwrite the financing and programs that our lenders, investors, and private partners work with. And without it, we wouldn't have a bedrock to stand on. So thank you to Alika's team and the entirety of the HUD delegations here today. You guys are also phenomenal rock stars. I don't think I ever had a submission of a RAD application that said, oh, wait, can we do that done in 3 months? Like, yeah, no problem. So talk about ingenuity. To that end, none of this would be possible without the creativity and support of our financing partners. And I'd like to thank our friends at JP Morgan Chase Bank, KeyBank, Fannie Mae, HUD, New York State Empire State Development, New York State Homes and Community Renewal, and the great city of Buffalo. We're deeply grateful for your support and the investment in Perry's future. A very humble shout out to Ruth Ann's team. The mentorship, clarity, and transparency under which we took this project. The guidance along the way to give our team and my partners safety and security in our investment. We couldn't have done this at all without you. Today, as we celebrate the demolition of Building 7 out of 24 structures, we're not just clearing space, but paving the way for renewal and revitalization, honoring the legacy of Commodore Perry and the venerable residents who have lived here, while looking forward to this brighter future. This project will not only improve the lives of these residents, but also stimulate economic growth and revitalization in the First Ward and beyond. And as we turn the shovels of dirt today, let us do so with a sense of purpose, a sense of optimism. Together, we are building a brighter future for this neighborhood in Buffalo, and we are building a more affordable New York. On behalf of the Penrose family, my partners, and the great folks here today, Lee, Will, Ariana, Penrose team, thank you so much, and we look forward to working with you all in the future to come. Let's build community.
We're going to add some folks. If you guys could stay here, we're going to add some folks.
Please remain seated for an additional photo.
There's some flatter.
I can handle the rock. One more toss.
Organized.
3, 2, 1, toss.
Thanks, Governor.
And that concludes today's events. Thank you for attending. Please quiet